Hello Internet, Rob from A Minor Error. I've got a brand new brand here on my channel. I've never had Legator guitars before, and this is a Ninja Overdrive 6-string guitar. Now check out the little chapters down below so you can skip around the video, get to the part that you're most interested in. It's gonna go demo, summary of the features, the good and the bad, and then my conclusions. So let's get started. So for my demo on that signal chain, so you guys can know how I got my tones, I was using actually just the stock strings that came on the guitar. They were fine, going through a string source cable into a Mode 2 M2 interface. And then for the tones, I'm using Neural DSP as always, so archetype plenty for the leads. And then personally, I've really been digging the Omega Ampworks Granifier for all the rhythms. I think it sounds pretty cool. The features on this guitar are as follows. You get a mahogany body with a Buckeye burl top. You get a maple neck as well as an ebony fingerboard, which I think cosmetically, the whole package on this guitar looks pretty good. The body design on this guitar is very sleek and very thin as well. It reminds me a lot of like an Ibanez S series. The pickups are Legator owned brand pickups. They might look like active pickups, but they're actually passive pickups, and it comes with a 3-way switch. This guitar also does not have any tone knob. It's clearly designed with a metal player in mind, so all you get is a master volume and that's it. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, the kind of player who's buying this guitar is not gonna need a tone knob. They're not playing jazz, obviously. So, I think that makes sense. This guitar has 24 medium jumbo size nickel frets. I do like the offset inlays on the fingerboard that kind of flip as they're going higher. Doesn't make any sense to have those dots all the way over to the bass side of the strings when you never are going to be playing on them up there. You're going to be on the first second, and third strings usually. So I do dig that touch. I think it's pretty cool. You also get a pretty cool looking reverse headstock, some Grover tuners, and a nice looking Legator inlay in the headstock. This guitar also does not come with a case. It's sold separately. So your $1,300 new only gets you the guitar, no case. The bridge on this guitar is Legator's own brand. It's called a monorail. I have no idea why, and it's stringed through body, and overall the quality is pretty good though. So let's talk about what I like about this guitar. First and foremost, I like the look. I think it's sleek and modern. It looks super cool. I think it fits the Ninja name. I like the reverse headstock as well. I think that's a nice touch. I absolutely love the Buckeye Burl top and the kind of color choice that I have here on the guitar that I'm testing. I think it looks the part. It's modern and aggressive, clearly meant with a super shredder metal guitar player in mind. I like the neck profile. It's thin and fast, and it plays really nice as well. The fretwork is pretty good, and I could get the action pretty much to the height that I liked, fairly low. I would say the pickups are kind of meh. They're somewhere in the middle. They're not terrible, but they're nothing to get excited about, which doesn't really surprise me. I mean, most sort of home branded pickups, are gonna be a little meh. They're not gonna get you terribly excited. That's the spot that the manufacturer is clearly trying to pinch a couple pennies, which I get. I really like those offset inlays, and like I said, I like that they switch to the other side. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense to have those offset ones on the bass side. I mean, it makes playing up top extra confusing, by putting the markers over there. It makes playing in the upper part of the frets a whole lot easier. So now that we're about halfway through this video, if you're digging it, please hit like and subscribe. Do all the other YouTube stuff, helps my channel continue to grow. Here, A Minor Error is the creative home for everything that I do in music, which is original progressive metal instrumental music, product reviews, and talking head videos like this one, as well as free music lessons. I also recently put out a single this past November called World Minus One. It's heavy and aggressive and in the same kind of vein as my demo track, so if you dug that, I'd appreciate it if you went and stopped by and checked it out, left me a comment, whatnot, yada yada link. All right, back to the review. All right, and on to the bad. The biggest thing that jumps out to me is just the fit and finish of the instrument is pretty bad, especially when it comes to the connection point between the neck and the body. There's like a big gap between the neck and the body. Honestly, I can't even believe how bad it is. The overall fretwork isn't bad, and cosmetically the body is nicely sprayed and everything, like the finish is nice and even. Just that neck joint connection is just absolutely horrible, which obviously doesn't inspire a ton of confidence about the guitar in general. The other thing about this guitar is that it just feels kind of cheap to me. It's very light, which it has a very thin, streamlined body like an Ibanez S series, but unlike an Ibanez S series, it just, I don't know, there's something about it that just feels cheap. The overall fit and finish of everything else about the guitar is fine. The bridge is pretty nice actually, and the fretwork is fine. It just sort of feels light and cheap. I think the biggest problem with this guitar is its price point. I personally feel like it's overpriced by about $300 in my personal opinion. $1,300 new, I just think is way too much money, and you don't even get a case for that. I find that to be a little ridiculous. I recently reviewed a Jason Richardson Signature Series Sterling by Music Man, link and yada yada. That guitar for $900 came with a pretty nice padded soft shell case. $1,300, I really think they should be tossing in at least some kind of a gig bag. So should you buy a Legator Ninja Overdrive 6? At $1,300, most definitely do not do that. This guitar is only worth around $400 to $500 used on the secondhand market, so it's a lot like buying a fancy high-end luxury car that's gonna just fall off a cliff of depreciation. I mean, you're losing over half the value of the guitar if you go to resell it. Now, if you're in the used market looking to snag one, yeah, for around $400 or $500, maybe $550, I think it's pretty reasonable. You're not gonna get a case for that money, so hopefully you have an extra gig bag laying around, but at that price point, I think it is worth it. It's a modern, metal, super shreddy kind of guitar, and if you're somebody who's hitting the road a lot, and just need to have like a backup guitar in case something happens to your main one, having one of these laying around that you picked up off the used market, I think makes a ton of sense.